Hello and welcome to Wisdom Forge. Acute stress, 5 warning signs and exactly what to do. Doctors don't tell you this. The body's alarm system, recognizing acute stress. Acute stress is your body's natural response to perceived threats or challenges, triggering a cascade of physiological changes designed to help you survive. Unlike chronic stress that builds gradually, acute stress hits suddenly like a storm. Your heart races, muscles tense, and senses sharpen within seconds. This reaction isn't inherently bad, it's your body preparing for action. However, when this emergency response activates too frequently or intensely over minor issues, it becomes problematic. Learning to recognize these acute stress signals is crucial because the sooner you identify them, the faster you can intervene to prevent the stress from overwhelming your system and affecting your health. Physical red flags, your body's distress signals. Your body broadcasts acute stress through unmistakable physical signs. You might notice your palms getting sweaty, your breath becoming shallow, or your stomach tightening like a knot. Many people experience a pounding heartbeat that feels audible, trembling hands, or sudden temperature changes like flushing or chills. These symptoms occur because stress hormones like adrenaline are flooding your bloodstream, preparing your muscles for action. Some people get headaches, dizziness, or even nausea during acute stress episodes. These physical manifestations are your body's way of sounding an alarm that something has triggered your fight or flight response, whether the threat is real or perceived. Mental fog, when your brain goes offline. During acute stress, your thinking processes undergo dramatic changes that feel like your brain is short-circuited. You might struggle to concentrate, forget simple words, or find yourself rereading the same sentence repeatedly. Decision-making becomes agonizing as your mind jumps between options without settling. This mental fog happens because stress hormones temporarily suppress your prefrontal cortex, the rational, thinking part of your brain, while amplifying more primitive survival instincts. Many people describe feeling like they're watching themselves from outside their body during intense acute stress. Recognizing this cognitive disruption is key to understanding you're in a stress response rather than simply having a bad day. Emotional tsunami, feeling out of control. Acute stress often brings an overwhelming surge of emotions that can feel terrifying in their intensity. You might experience sudden anger that seems disproportionate to the situation, paralyzing fear about minor issues, or inexplicable urges to cry. These emotional spikes occur because your amygdala, the brain's emotional center, becomes hyperactive during stress while your rational brain takes a back seat. Many people feel ashamed about these emotional outbursts afterward, not realizing they were experiencing a biological stress response rather than a character flaw. The key indicator is that these emotional reactions feel urgent and uncontrollable in the moment, often followed by exhaustion when the stress passes. Behavioral clues, actions that reveal stress. Your behavior changes in telling ways during acute stress episodes. You might notice yourself pacing restlessly, snapping at loved ones, or engaging in nervous habits like nail biting or leg shaking. Some people withdraw completely, while others become unusually talkative. Stress can trigger impulsive actions like reckless driving or comfort eating. These behavioral shifts occur because your body is primed for action and struggling to discharge the energy from stress hormones. Observing these changes in your normal patterns can help you recognize when you're experiencing acute stress rather than just having an off day. Often, others notice these behavioral signs before you do. The time distortion effect. Acute stress dramatically alters your perception of time, making minutes feel like hours or causing events to blur together. You might feel trapped in an endless stressful moment, or conversely, like everything is happening too fast to process. This time distortion occurs because stress hormones enhance your brain's recording of emotionally charged events while impairing normal time perception. Some people report remembering stressful episodes in slow motion or being unable to recall parts of what happened. Recognizing this altered time sense can help you identify when you're in an acute stress state rather than simply being busy or distracted. The freeze response, when you can't move. While we often hear about fight or flight, acute stress can also trigger a freeze response where you feel paralyzed to act. You might notice yourself staring blankly, unable to speak, or feeling physically stuck in place despite wanting to move. This isn't weakness but an ancient survival mechanism kicking in. Sometimes playing dead or staying motionless is the best defense. The freeze response often causes people the most distress because it feels like losing control, but understanding it's a natural stress reaction can help you be kinder to yourself and recover more quickly when it happens. Instant calming techniques, the 30-second reset. When you recognize acute stress symptoms, these fast-acting techniques can help short-circuit the stress response. The simplest is controlled breathing. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. This directly counters stress physiology by activating your parasympathetic nervous system. Another powerful method is grounding. Name 5 things you see, 4 you feel, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste. This engages your senses to bring you back to the present. These techniques work because they give your overwhelmed brain a concrete task to focus on instead of the stressor, helping break the cycle of escalating panic. The power of movement, shaking off stress. Physical activity is one of the fastest ways to metabolize stress hormones flooding your body. You don't need a workout, simply shaking your hands vigorously for 30 seconds or marching in place can help. This works because stress hormones prepare your body for movement. When you actually move, your body gets the signal the threat has passed. Many animals naturally shake after stressful events. Watch a dog after a fireworks display, but humans often suppress this instinct. Allowing yourself to physically discharge the stress energy through movement can provide surprisingly quick relief from acute stress symptoms. Cognitive reframing, changing your stress story. How you interpret stressful events dramatically affects their impact. When you notice acute stress symptoms, try telling yourself, "This is just my body trying to protect me," rather than "I'm falling apart." This reframing works because it acknowledges the stress response as temporary and even helpful in small doses, reducing the fear about the stress itself that often amplifies it. Another powerful reframe is to ask, "Will this matter in a week? A year?" This perspective shift engages your rational brain to override the emotional alarm system that's sounding unnecessarily loud. The recovery position, after the storm passes. Post-stress recovery is crucial but often overlooked. After an acute stress episode, your body needs time to rebalance. You might feel exhausted, spacey, or emotionally raw. This is normal. Find a quiet space if possible, sip cold water, and do some gentle stretches. Avoid immediately jumping back into demanding tasks. This recovery period allows stress hormone levels to normalize and prevents the accumulation of stress that can lead to chronic issues. Think of it like rebooting a computer after it overheats. Giving your system this reset time makes you more resilient for future stressors. Prevention strategies, building stress resilience. While you can't avoid all stress, you can make yourself more resilient. Regular mindfulness practice, even just 5 minutes daily, trains your brain to stay calmer under pressure. Physical exercise acts like a stress vaccine by helping your body learn to regulate stress hormones better. Adequate sleep is crucial because fatigue lowers your stress threshold dramatically. These preventive measures work like strengthening a muscle. They don't stop stressful events but give you greater capacity to handle them without tipping into overwhelming acute stress reactions when challenges arise. When to seek help, recognizing dangerous stress levels. Most acute stress passes naturally, but professional help may be needed if you experience frequent episodes that interfere with daily life, if symptoms last for hours, or if you have thoughts of harming yourself or others. Other red flags include stress-induced chest pain, difficulty breathing, or complete dissociation from reality. Seeking help isn't weakness but wisdom. Just as you'd see a doctor for persistent physical pain, mental health professionals have tools to help recalibrate an overactive stress response system. Early intervention can prevent acute stress from evolving into more serious conditions. Your personal stress profile, tracking your patterns. Everyone experiences acute stress slightly differently. Keep a simple log when you notice stress symptoms: what triggered it, how your body felt, what thoughts raced through your mind, and what helped calm you. Over time, you'll identify your personal stress signature. Maybe your neck always tenses first, or certain situations reliably trigger stress. This self-knowledge is powerful because it lets you spot rising stress earlier and deploy your most effective coping strategies faster. Think of it like learning your own early warning system that alerts you before stress becomes overwhelming. The role of nutrition in stress recovery. What you eat and drink significantly impacts how you experience acute stress. Caffeine and sugar can amplify stress responses, while foods rich in magnesium, like leafy greens, and omega-3s, like walnuts, help calm your nervous system. Staying hydrated is crucial because dehydration mimics and worsens stress symptoms. Having a small protein-rich snack can stabilize blood sugar during stress. These nutritional factors matter because acute stress depletes certain nutrients rapidly while others help your body process stress hormones more efficiently. Simple dietary tweaks can make you more resistant to stress overload. Technology and acute stress, the hidden link. Digital devices often contribute to acute stress in subtle ways. The ping of notifications triggers many stress responses, while blue light disrupts sleep, lowering your stress resilience. Try implementing tech boundaries like turning off non-essential notifications or having screen-free time before bed. These changes help because they reduce the constant low-grade stress that makes you more vulnerable to acute stress episodes. Your nervous system didn't evolve to handle today's constant digital demands, so giving it regular breaks prevents stress accumulation that can erupt as sudden acute stress. Creating your emergency stress plan. Prepare a personalized stress first aid kit for when acute stress strikes. This might include a playlist of calming music, a list of reassuring mantras, contact info for supportive friends, or even a specific scent, like lavender, that helps ground you. Having these tools ready works because during acute stress, your thinking brain goes offline. You won't be able to rationally decide what might help. But if you've pre-planned your coping strategies when calm, you can access them even when stressed. Think of it like fire drills. Practicing when calm makes response automatic during actual emergencies. The long-term view, stress and personal growth. While acute stress feels awful in the moment, understanding it can lead to profound personal growth. Each stress episode teaches you something about your limits, your values, and what truly matters to you. With practice, you can learn to spot early warning signs and intervene before stress becomes overwhelming. Viewing stress as information rather than weakness transforms your relationship with it. The goal isn't to eliminate all stress, which is impossible, but to develop the skills to navigate it with greater awareness and resilience, using each episode as an opportunity to understand yourself better. Bringing it all together, your stress mastery blueprint. Mastering acute stress involves 3 key phases: recognition, noticing early signs; response, using calming techniques; and recovery, allowing your system to reset. With practice, this becomes an automatic cycle that prevents stress from hijacking your well-being. Remember that stress responses exist to protect you. The problem isn't the stress itself, but getting stuck in it. By developing awareness of your unique stress patterns and having proven tools ready, you can navigate stressful moments with far greater ease, emerging from them wiser and more resilient than before. This is true stress mastery, not avoiding storms but learning to dance in the rain. Thank you, and let's stay connected. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. If you found this video valuable, imagine what you'll learn next. Subscribe to Wisdom Forge and hit the bell icon so you never miss more thought-provoking content, practical wisdom for everyday life, the tools to unlock your full potential. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway or what topics you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning.